All three of us in here, we were unanimous when we thought that the Arsenal side had more in the tank than the Liverpool side. Of course, with Simon Miller and Adrian Clark here at the Emirates Stadium. Let's go straight in with your tweets and your social media. Still on the same theme here, saying, let my bladder burst, but I'm not peeing until this match ends. Well, I hope you've relieved yourself now that the match is over. 5-5 on the actual night. We've discussed it before, the penalty shootout. A little bit disappointing to go to 5-5, but then to lose the penalty shootout, Adrian, I could tell. I think, like, as an ex-player, because you played, I can tell you're just so annoyed.
Well, I'm annoyed because it was there for Arsenal tonight. It was not on a plate. They worked very hard to get themselves into a great position. 3-1 up, 4-2 up, 5-4 up.
Never behind on the night.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a real... It feels like a kick in the stomach right now that we're out of the League Cup. I think we have ourselves to blame. I think that we made some elementary mistakes defensively. We're never really at the races in that facet of our play. I feel sorry for the forwards. I feel sorry for the supporters first and foremost, because they've gone up there. It's been an arduous journey. OK, they've been treated to a feast of football. But for them now to go home empty-handed, I think is really disappointing. And I feel for guys like Willock, for Ozil, who made such good contributions, for Martinelli, Maitland-Niles. I feel for them because they did all they could to make this a famous victory and have been let down, really, at the other end of the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, disappointing performance or disappointing result, but an amazing performance from Mesut Ozil. You guys were waxing lyrical about him on social media, and you guys on commentary as well. It has to be said, he's had a great game. We can see here Bolcut saying Ozil, Sharon is a gooner, also Ozil fire emojis, Ozil, another one from Kunz. Jamie Carragher even there. That is fantastic from Ozil. I'm going to guess that he was talking about the little flick for Ainsley Maitland-Niles. I mean, absolutely
sweet,
amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those. Just to get there was good, but then to just perfectly back flick it for Maitland-Niles.
Have the awareness to do that when he's got the momentum running forward as well. Like, that's not something you can just pull out of nowhere.
He was really good tonight, and it was just such a head scratcher when he made way. I just thought at that point I just didn't understand it. It kind of paid off because Willock pushed on and scored that great goal, but I felt for Mesut because it looked to me like he was really enjoying himself.
And also, we were saying as well, give him 90 minutes, and then maybe if you want to reintroduce him into the team against Wolves on Saturday, you have the opportunity. You still have that opportunity, but I just think a solid 90 minutes.
Yeah, I can't see it being the reason he came off is because he's being saved for the weekend. I don't really buy into that. Not at 4-4 in a big cup tie. I think you've got to be thinking about the.
I think it's better to get him minutes as well. He hasn't played in ages, but overall, it's just, well, what do you do? That's penalties. That's why you should never get there.
He can look the fans and the manager in the eye tonight, Mesut Ozil, can't he, and say, look, I delivered. You know, you wanted a performance from me. I've given you one. It's just a start. I know I've got to do it on a weekly basis. Give me a chance.
Give me the opportunity,
Very brave if he's not in the starting lineup or at least in the squad come the weekend. Be interesting to see what happens there. Another good night for Ainsley Maitland-Niles on the right wing. Do you know what? It's interesting. So when the starting lineup came out, I thought that he was going to be playing centre, and then Adrian, you said to me, he's played on the wing a couple of times before, and I think he delivered. We can see here at Maitland-Niles that'll do him a world of good. Ozil involved again. That was for the goal, of course. And Ozil assists Maitland-Niles, great pressure, and eventually finished it. So good. Yeah. For Maitland-Niles, where do you stand on the debate? Because a lot of people that I've spoken to, Arsenal fans, Adrian, have been saying that Ainsley Maitland-Niles' best chance at a shot in this Arsenal side is in the back four. You know, we're on one. He's covered on the left. He's been on the right, but he wants to play in midfield, and you know he's fighting his cause here.
Yeah, he had some good moments in the game, no doubt about it. Great for the goal, wasn't it? Because he pressed James Milner, well, he stole it, and then he finished it off, and he had some good forays forward. I'm just torn on Maitland-Niles because I know that he's a good player, but I don't know what his best position is. I can't see him having a sniff in central midfield. Yeah. I think at full-back is his best shot, but for me, he's a little bit too casual to be a defender because he's so laid back, we know. Maybe the position we saw him in tonight is his best role.
I thought he had a good game.
Wide right, yeah, exactly. Maybe wide right is his best position, but again, you're up against Pepe, you're up against some serious talents. So it's not going to be easy. He's a good player, but I think he needs to find a role to stay here in the long term.
That's it, and then he needs to make that his own, right? Because if you keep jumping around the place, you're never going to find that position. And that's why games like this are really good, because you can kind of give them that opportunity. And he took his penalty really well as well. Like,
He
it was
did,
cool
yeah.
as a cucumber,
He's
to say
a
the
calm
least.
customer.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm old-fashioned, but I like my defenders to be sort of not the
Wound
opposite.
up.
The opposite of laid back. And we saw it for one of the goals tonight. It was the Oxlade-Chamberlain goal.
Yeah, he lost
Brilliant
it.
goal. But what he's doing, he's watching the ball. He's watching it. He's not looking where Chamberlain is. He nips in front of him, scores a goal. It's just being switched on, and I think that's the aspect of his game that is holding it back.
Yeah. Well, it's fair to say there was a decision out there that many people weren't happy with tonight, and that was the substitution of Mesut Ozil. We can see some of your reaction on social media here. Neil saying, what a game. Why did Ozil come off? Best player on the pitch. But what it did do, actually, is it enabled Joe Willock to play number 10.
Yeah.
And then straight off the back of that, Joe Willock pretty much scored. We can see there, look, from Justin, Joe Willock with a rocket. That was world class.
That was incredible too, yeah.
It was
What
a
strike.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Melissa saying, Joe Willock, worldy. And Javier saying, let's go, Willock, one of the best games I've ever seen. I've seen in a while. Eddie and Ketia as well, getting in on it. Joe Willock, take a bow, son. Yeah, what a goal from Joe
It's
Willock.
incredible. I mean, you can kind of argue a lot of them were the best of the night. I think I would pick that one, just because who doesn't like someone just picking up a ball and slamming it into the back of the net? And the problem now is that at that point, I think we all thought, right, there we go. I know I was a little bit like, it's 4-4, which way it's going to go. Liverpool kind of seemed like they're getting the momentum. Arsenal managed to reverse that, get that goal, and yet here we are, and unfortunately it didn't go our way, which does take the shine off of it. It just does.
Yeah, it does, yeah. He'll dream about that goal, though. It's one of those...
Oh,
he'll
yeah.
never, ever forget the moment he banged in a 25-yarder at Anfield, will he? No matter what happens in his career. It was great. And it was trademark Willock with the way he strode through the middle of the park. So, look, he's a contender for number 10. And if he can do that every week, he'll play every week, won't he?
Well, speaking of contenders, sorry to butt in on you, Simon. Who's in contention then for you guys for the weekend? Has anyone tonight played themselves into contention?
I mean, I think Özil's question mark has got bigger in terms of I think there'll be more confused faces if he doesn't make it. Outside of that, I'm not sure. I mean, I would look, if Bellerin, Holding, and Tierney are all fit to go, I'd like to see them go straight into the back four. You could say maybe that upsets the team a little bit too much, but does it? Not necessarily after you've just let in 2 goals at home. Other than that, everybody has... I don't think anybody has not come away from this game doing what they set out to do, right? It wasn't that there was any bad performances, defence aside. I mean, talking about an attacking role, but...
I thought Bellerin was OK in a sort of shaky-ish back four. I don't remember him making too many errors, like his leadership. I would bring Bellerin in at the weekend. I would put Ozil in, and I would bring Torreira in because there are question marks. We don't know what's happening with Granit Xhaka. I'd probably go with Torreira, Guendouzi and Ozil as my 2 and 2 and 3 with Aubameyang and Pepe flanking Lacazette, and let's just see if we can tear into a very good Wolves team.
Yeah, I think Dan Roebuck touched on it on commentary as well. I think Holding needs a little bit more time, doesn't he?
He didn't have a good game.
No, he didn't. I would agree with that. Yeah, and he got frustrated at one point when he made a foul. He just walked off with the ball. I think that was half gamesmanship and half I'm annoyed that I can't find my best form. Yeah. But hopefully he learns from this game and we can get him back to where he was a year ago or so.
Yeah, he's got the Europa League game to make up for it. I don't think Holding will come in on the back of that performance. So Vitória away, if he has a good game there, might persuade the manager to bring him into the Premier League team. But I think Socrates and David Luiz are going to be quite hard to dislodge at the moment.
That Vitória away game is the one that kicks off at like tea time or something, isn't it? It kicks off at like 3 o'clock or something.
3:50.
On a Wednesday. Crazy. Right, we've got a tweet that I think sums up the thoughts of many Arsenal fans tonight. The 12th man saying we haven't had a better chance of beating Liverpool at Anfield than that. Such a shame after some wonderful goals scored by us. No more needs to be said. Gutted, yeah, even though it's the League Cup.
That's true, because so many times you see that Liverpool fixture come up and you're always like, oh, no, not Liverpool, because our record's not, it's not the best against them. And that would have been, it's still a scalp. A scalp is a scalp. It's a real shame. It's just, I hate penalties, man.
Yeah, especially when, as that tweet sums up, you score some great goals, you're ahead basically every single time, and they're chasing the game, and then you lose it on penalties. Yeah. Terrible. Right, let's get a one-word sign-off from you both then.
Oh, goodness me. It was enthralling, I'll say that, but ultimately disappointing.
disappointing.
Yeah, just sadness.
Sadness.
Sadness all round, yeah.
Are you going to cry?
Yeah, I am, yeah. I'm feeling it. I'll cry, man. There's nothing wrong with showing your feelings.
Right, Adrian, Simon, thank you both very much. I'm sure you'll be back with us here on Arsenal Nation Live soon. And you should be back with us on Saturday when we take on Wolves. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.